All right, I'm here with Senate candidate Dan Winslow. Dan, a rather fiery speech in terms on the sequester that you just gave up there.
That's true. Well, you know, people in Massachusetts aren't used to passion from Republicans. They're used to Republicans playing defense. So I'm sorry, defense just isn't in my DNA. And I think that we've got a good reason to be elected. I think we've got a strong story, and I think we've got proven principles of growth, opportunity, and prosperity. I'm proud of being a Republican in Massachusetts, and I think that people agree with the principles that we espouse. They just don't associate them with us right now. We're going to make that connection for them in this election.
You said the thing I would have asked you before I could even ask it. You've mentioned you've been a judge, you've been a legislator, so you've been in all three branches of government. Is that one of the selling points for you as a candidate?
I have the broadest experience of any candidate on either party in problem solving in government. You know, Washington isn't working. Everybody down in Washington is more interested in finger pointing than problem solving. In every role that I've had in government, as a judge, I received national recognition for reform. As the chief legal counsel to the governor, I was part of the turnaround for Massachusetts in the last fiscal crisis. And now, as a legislator, I hold Scott Brown's old house seat in the state legislature.
In the area where Mighty Subs is.
That's right. And so I am working to grow jobs. I've had some great success in job proposals, and also some other legislation that I've gotten through actually signed into law in my freshman year.
Not an easy thing to do in a state when we're like 20% Republicans and almost none in the Senate.
Well, you know, we have to work harder, be smarter, and just do more to make the case, and I'm willing to do it. I will be so hardworking. Nobody's going to out-hustle me for this race. I'm going to go out and ask every voter for their support. I'm going to go from one corner of Massachusetts to the other, the Berkshires to Barnstable, and I'm going to work hard to try to earn the support of the grassroots. I'm running a grassroots campaign. Mine isn't a top-down campaign. Mine is a bubble-up-from-the-bottom campaign. There's a real energy out there in the field. There's a real excitement, and I think that we can win this race.
How important is the bottom-up? We have several selectmen candidates up and talking. How important is that farm team if Republicans are going to come back?
It's mission critical. We have to have people establish a reputation for getting things done at the local level, make a name for themselves, and then also have the skill sets to govern well. You know, if we actually get the keys to the kingdom someday and we don't do the job well, then we deserve to lose it. When I saw the Republicans took over Congress and then they started acting like Democrats and spending profligate spending, you know, they didn't deserve to be there either. We have to be true to our own values. And the fact is that we could be respectful of each other. We might even compromise in an appropriate circumstance to be able to move America forward. But the fact is that you have to be true to your principles, and that's why I'm running.
You cheered Ron Paul's...
Yeah, one more, but we got to go after that.
Okay, you cheered Ron Paul's filibuster over there. Rand Paul, I'm sorry, I've covered them both so much. Now, the mainstream media pretty much locked that out and just kind of discarded it. How will you get around a media that is going to be reflexively supportive of either Democratic candidate?
Well, you know, I'll have to do it by speaking directly to the people. When Senator Rand Paul was on the floor of the Senate, I actually made a statement while he was standing on the floor of the Senate that I agreed with his filibuster, and that if I were in the U.S. Senate, I'd be standing there with him. And I hope that the voters give me that chance.
And your website, so people can find it.
DanWinslow.com, or you can follow me on Twitter at Dan Winslow, or even better yet, on your cell phone. Just text Dan, D-A-N, to 68398.
Dan Winslow, candidate for Senate, thank you very much for your time.